Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome back to We Like Dota. This is We Like Dota Community Match and Draft Commentary. I'm Brian Sabone Yinger. And today's match comes to us courtesy, I don't even know what I'm saying, a friend of the show, Kylar, who will be playing on Silencer. And we also have Bad Karma on the Phoenix, Ren23 on the Death Prophet, Emmy Lou on the Wind Ranger with a really sweet headpiece for Wind Ranger. I like that. And she does have the Wind Ranger Immortal, the Inscribed Sylvan Cascade, which looks really awesome. Big fan of that. And let's see, did I get everybody? I think I did. El Capitan on the Sniper, which I believe El Capitan is a mountain if I'm not mistaken. And on the Radiant side, we have some people who we don't know, which we have a Tiny in the off lane with a Invoker mid lane and a Mirana and Legion Commander safe lane. Holy cow, look at this Legion Commander set. This thing's awesome. That's an Arcana. Okay.
Haste.
Pretty cool. Big fan of that. And I think we do have a Tiny Axe off lane, which it seems like a pretty rough off lane given that it's double melee. But I do like this Axe Scythe. Big fan of that one. But I do believe Tiny, with his toss, he can do off lane somewhat okay. We do have Death Prophet and Silencer in the safe lane. Not sure who's going to be the carry in this lane, but I know Kylar likes to play carry quite a bit, so I would think he'll be playing the carry. And Sniper getting a little gutsy here, pushing that far forward. And we do have the Wind Ranger Phoenix off lane, which I think Phoenix does really well in the early game, as does Wind Ranger. It looks like this Mirana is probably going to be going hard carry. Though with a Legion Commander, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure who's playing carry and who's playing support here. I think we're just doing the classic pub style, everyone gets farm. And I think, does she have an item to change her arrow? Her sacred arrow? Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I've seen some different arrows from time to time. But yeah, it does look like the Legion Commander is getting a decent amount of farm. Mirana has only got 1 CS to her name. So I think the Legion Commander, they might both be going for farm, but I think the Legion Commander is probably doing better. This Death Prophet's getting a little low. Might want to consider looking into getting some tangos or a healing salve. And last word will be used on the Tiny, which is a very annoying ability to lane against, because you're going to take damage and be silenced no matter what. And Silencer is just such a huge pain in the butt to lane against. Not a big fan of that whatsoever. As long as I'm playing as Silencer, I do like that quite a bit. And this Death Prophet really needs to heal up. Just asking for... we did see the Sunstrike come out from the Invoker earlier, so she's just asking to be hit with the Sunstrike, and probably... I'm not saying anything for sure, but I'm going to call first blood on this Death Prophet. Okay, she is heading back, so good for her. Should have headed back quite a while ago, but that's okay. No big deal. No big deal, as long as you heal up. That's a good lesson to be learned here, folks. Make sure you carry regen with you. At minimum, buy some tangos. I think you're really going to want to be looking for, unless you really know what you're doing, be looking for tangos and a healing salve. Or in some cases, 2 packs of tangos, or... this Tiny does have a Stout Shield and the healing salve, which I think the Stout Shield will help take quite a bit of harassment, which is good. So we do have Mirana going for the Wraith Band, probably going to be looking to upgrade that to a Ring of Aquila. That's pretty soon. Offers some nice damage and some nice regen. Really nice value item. And it is pretty quiet in the early game right now, so hopefully the action will pick up a little bit soon. And this Death Prophet, since she really had to stay pretty far back due to being damaged, and then also walking back and not TPing back, really going to be quite far behind with the farm, but does find the axe and does a couple right clicks, and due to the counter helix, not going to want to engage there. If she can engage from a distance, you know, at a range distance, that's a really easy way to counter that counter helix. I think I'd rather see the axe being used in a lane with a melee carry, which there are no melee carries on the Dire side. Axe really counters melee heroes quite well, and Tiny almost going down thanks to the last word. Big fan of the last word. It silences the enemy until they cast a spell. If it expires, the target will be disarmed in addition to being damaged and silenced. So it is at minimum a 5-second Axe almost going down here. The counter helix doing work against Death Prophet, but Axe engaged 2-on-1 there. Will go down. The Invoker trying to use the Sunstrike against the Death Prophet, but not really doing too much there. And yeah, sorry, I got caught up reading this last word, and I always forget exactly how it works. Enchants a target, damaging and silencing them if they cast a spell. So you get it cast on you, and if you use a spell, you'll be silenced. So you're gonna take damage. You're gonna take damage and be silenced no matter what. So if you get last word cast on you and you cast a spell, you're silenced after that, and you're damaged. So that's 250 damage at level 3 at 6 minutes into the game. I'll take that. That's pretty good. It is single target, pretty easy to land. So I do like that as I scratch my ear. And the his Q, the Curse of the Silent, is also really good as well. So I do like Silencer. I think he does bring a lot to the table. He's good as a hard carry if he's active, you know, running around, getting a lot of kills, or at least participating in kills. But I think he works out better as a support or even a semi-carry, because he is rewarded for being a part of kills. And last word going down on the axe, and it does almost kill him. But yeah, as I was saying, Silencer is rewarded for being a part of kills thanks to the Glaives of Wisdom mechanic, where he gets stolen intelligence for kills that he's a part of. Legion Commander going in against the Phoenix here. Power Shot going to be used. Not going to do too much there. Going to be a little bit off the mark, and Phoenix almost goes down. Clarity being used on the Wind Ranger to bring her back up to full mana. And the thing about those is that they take you out for a little while. And Axe does get a kill on the Death Prophet. I did miss that. So it looks like they probably tried to wrap around for a gank and didn't quite go according to plan. In all fairness, I'm not entirely sure how Legion Commander works. Removes debuffs and disables the target friendly unit. And grants bonus attack speed and health regen for a short time. Okay. Alright, good for her. Legion Commander is not one that I really play too often. I do, of like some of the newer heroes that have been added to the game, she is one that I see, really her and Phoenix I see quite often. I haven't seen Terrorblade in a long time. And whenever I see Earth Spirit just feeds. I do see Ember Spirit a decent amount. Let's do a quick item check. Invoker is going for the Hand of Midas, which I'm not a huge fan of Hand of Midas. Sniper is going for something. Ring of Protection and the Wraith Band. And Kylar on the Invoker is trying to I'm not sure if he knows Tiny's here. He's just buying stuff, and I'm not sure if Tiny's going to go in here, but he should. That would be a great opportunity. And it looks like he does. Curse of the Silent going to go down, and it looks like they're going on the Death Prophet. The Toss and the Avalanche doing a decent amount of work, and I think Death Prophet's going to go down here. Axe is diving below the tower here, and I think we're going to see an Axe kill thanks to the tower, but the slam dunk being used on the Silencer, so he will go down, and Axe does take too much tower damage and he will fall, so that is a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Radiant. And I forget what his ultimate's called, Culling Blade. Yeah, that thing is fun because when you basically get a free kill once they get below a certain damage threshold, and if you get a kill with it, the cooldown is reset. And we do see Tony going for a single point and grow, so he will up his attack damage a little bit, and the toss damage and movement speed will go up, so he's got that going for us. Wind Ranger's kind of trying to wrap around here, and we did see Legion Commander going in for the duel on Phoenix, but Phoenix at the last second was able to use the ultimate, so she will save herself thanks to that ultimate being used at just the last second. I think we're going to see a Legion Commander kill here. No, she barely escapes with 15 HP. Good lord, taking that damage over time from Phoenix. And Phoenix kind of wants to chase this out. And it looks like Phoenix did get the kill on the Mirana. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think probably that damage over time from the Supernova did hurt the Mirana, and I think she was trying to hide, and then, gosh dang it, I'm missing all these kills. And Silencer did get the kill on the Invoker. I'm not sure, did he rotate? Where is Silencer? Yeah, it looks like he rotated mid, so sorry about that, guys. I'll try and be more on the ball here. I took my eyes off the minimap, and that is just always a bad idea. Always want to keep your eyes on the minimap. I think even from casting matches, like being able to keep my eyes on the minimap in like regular matches when I'm playing for real, that's kind of been a big help to me. My phone's going crazy, and that's okay. So Silencer and Death Prophet wrapping around here again. We do have a TP in from the Legion Commander. No, excuse me, the Phoenix. So it looks like we are going to see Tiny go down thanks to the damage from the Axe taking quite a bit of damage here, trying to use the Axe getting a Culling Blade kill, and we do have a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Dire. Axe did get that kill on the Phoenix, and Silencer does go down thanks to the Invoker. So they are able to even things up quite a bit there. But yeah, Axe was using the Berserker's Call, which does force people to attack him. And let me turn my phone off. There we go. Okay, no more interruptions. No more of that crap. Except for on my computer. Let's get that straightened out. Mute. There we go. Okay. The thing that's nice about Sniper is he can use the shrapnel to damage towers, and this tower is now in deny range, so I would think Tiny would want to be denying this, deny quite a bit of gold, but Sniper can really shoot this tower from pretty far away. I'm not sure what his attack range is right now. 950. So we do have a 3-on-1 against Sniper, but Sniper's wisely going to back up because he knows he really doesn't want to have any part of that engagement. So let's see if anything's going to happen in the mid lane here. Death Prophet just doing a little bit of harassment with that Crypt Swarm. And Mirana went in on the Wind Ranger, and we saw a Wind Ranger kill. Well, we didn't see it, but it did happen. Kills happening all over the place here. It's hard to keep up with all of them. Pretty active game. We're at about 12 kills right now, which is about 1 kill per minute, so pretty active game. Tough to keep up with, which that's perfectly fine with me. You want to see those active games. Let's do a quick item check. We do have Legion Commander sitting on Phase Boots, Invoker sitting on those Phase Boots, and that Hand of Midas, which he is keeping on cooldown, which is good. Axe does have the Tranquil boots, and looks like he's going for a Sange, potentially, question mark. Tiny sitting on the phase boots and bracers, probably going to be looking to get a Drum of Endurance. Mirana sitting on brown boots and a Ring of Aquila. Death Prophet popping the ultimate and going for, looks like we're going to see the Dire go in here. Phoenix going in here doing quite a bit of damage with that ultimate and will get a kill on the Axe. So that is a 3-for-0 exchange, good lord.
Radiant's mid tower could use
Quite a bit of damage coming out from the Sniper, Death Prophet, and the Phoenix. And Invoker might want to get the heck out of here. He might just go down if they do push a little bit more forward. And it looks like we're going to see that. That Exorcism just does so much damage this early in the game. And it looks like they're going to try and push this tier 2, which I don't blame them at all. Mirana clipping a creep with the Sacred Arrow. So the rest of the Radiant heroes are coming back online. So they will be able to do a decent amount of damage to this tier 2 tower. Mirana wrapping around, probably trying to get a nice arrow. Let's see if she's able to do anything. Nope, decides to not go for it. And this cheeky ward from Emilu right here in the Radiant jungle, that's one of my favorite ward spots as well, if you're able to put that up when it's safe to do so. And I wouldn't say it was entirely safe, but with those heroes coming just back online, I think you're somewhat safe in doing that. Little power shot harassment, and the Icarus dive arrow going to be off the mark. You want to be careful with throwing that arrow when there's creeps around like that, because you're probably not going to hit him. It's kind of like, oh, the Death Ray being used against the Tiny. Tiny a little bit far forward, probably going to go down. The duel being used on the Death Prophet, so that's a 3-for-1 exchange here. And Axe getting another kill on the Wind Ranger, so big Culling Blade kills here, folks. So there's a 1-for-4 exchange in favor of the Radiant, and it just keeps going back and forth. That Invoker Tornado EMP really just doing work, and that is, or no, excuse me, Deafening Blast. I was going to say the Tornado EMP is one of the most annoying things to play against, but this Invoker really able to turn it around for the Radiant in the mid game. Looks like Silencer's going to be going for a Mechanism, which is a great thing to have. Phoenix going in with the Death Ray might be able to get a kill on the Invoker here, and looks like the Invoker is just going to make it away just by the skin of his teeth. Is that actually called Death Ray? Sun Ray. I kind of like Death Ray a little bit more. I think we're going to call it Death Ray. It does cost her HP per second. I didn't realize that. So that can be a little bit of a scary ability to use. Death Prophet blowing the Exorcism defensively. I'm not sure why Legion Commander went in for the duel there, because popping the Exorcism and then dueling the Death Prophet means that you pretty much just planted yourself right next to Death Prophet and pretty much stunned yourself right next to her and taking tons of damage. Last word and Assassinate being used on the Axe, but I think he's going to be okay. He did take a decent amount of damage from that Phoenix ultimate from the Rebirth. So it's kind of cool to see a Phoenix who, it seems like Phoenix kind of knows what's going on. The Blink Icarus dive doing a lot of work against Mirana here, and Mirana definitely will go down thanks to the good old Death Ray. And I think we're going to see a tier 1 tower kill, and it will go down.
The Radiant lost the top tower.
So taking a look at the tower kills here, the Dire still have all of their tier 1s remaining, except for maybe this one that Tony's pushing. And the Dire have been able to take down 2 tier 1s, so good for them. Really puts them in quite a nice position, especially taking down the mid lane. And I still can't draw on my screen. I don't know what's going on. The mid lane tier 1. I can draw on the minimap, but not on the actual screen up here, which is annoying. And Tiny activating those phase boots. Really nice pickup for him to, yeah, just help out and get a decent amount of damage and get some good, a good, I guess you could use that as an escape somewhat. Get a nice bit of movement speed. Phoenix going for Tranquil Boots and a casual energy booster. Not quite sure what Phoenix plans on building. Death Prophet sitting on a casual Vitality booster and a Null Talisman. Silencer does have that mech built, so that will help out for team fights. Looks like Mirana is going to be going for the power treads, and she does just buy them. And we do see a Mirana ultimate being used. Not quite sure why. Maybe that was a Fat Finger ultimate, which I am prone to do from time to time. And I think they're going to try and plan a gank off this, but they were a little late to the game there. But the Tornado will catch out too. The Avalanche doing a decent amount of damage there. And Silencer wrapping around from behind, and tons of damage from the Phoenix ultimate going out. So we do see the Icarus diving in on 3 heroes here, and this Phoenix just doing a ton of work. The Death Ray is going to be used probably a little too aggressive there. Eyes getting a little wide there. But yeah, this Dire Side team does have a decent amount of damage, thanks to the Sniper and the Phoenix ultimate and the Exorcism from Death Prophet. I think she has, yeah, Heretic Enclave. I think that's a new ultimate skin for Death Prophet, I think. That's one thing I do really like about Dota 2, is there are different skins for just so many things. You know, different abilities, items, couriers. I mean, practically everything you can do, you can skin, which I really, really enjoy. Taking a look at net worth, Invoker is pretty far ahead on the net worth chart thanks to his leading farm. He is the farm leader, CS leader, but he also does have that Hand of Midas, which he has been doing pretty well at keeping on cooldown. When you buy a Hand of Midas, that's something you definitely want to make sure you do, is to keep that Hand of Midas on cooldown. The only thing I do worry about the Dire is that they don't have anyone that tanks up a lot. I think maybe out of anyone, I think Death Prophet probably would tank up the most. She becomes pretty, not difficult to kill, but not difficult to kill. So, we do have the Dire kind of clumping up in the mid lane here, while the rest of the Radiant, they're not, I guess Tiny's kind of farming. But we do have Axe trying to go for some farm, so good for the Radiant, not wasting time and not just standing around doing nothing, which is good. That is something that happens quite often, is you do see teams just kind of clump up in the middle, waiting for engagements to happen. And I'm not sure what's going on here with the Dire. I think they might be trying to get an Axe kill, but they definitely know Axe is there. They might be going for this tower. Not sure what the intention is here. They are going to push out this creep wave. And Silencer does pick up a Staff of Wizardry, which he could build into a Yule's or a Force Staff, or heck, even a Aghanim Scepter. And we do have the Radiant responding to this tower kill, and it will go down, no problem. But we do have the Mirana ultimate, so we will see what happens here. And the Dire, I'm pretty sure, I mean, they definitely know the Radiant are there, but we do have a Tornado catching out 3 of them with an EMP deafening blast. And Legion Commander getting the kill on the Sniper, and Invoker getting the kill on the Silencer. The Phoenix ultimate going down, doing a little bit of damage to the Axe, and using that Icarus dive while Wind Ranger wind runs away.
Dire's top tower.
Death Prophet meeting her allies in the Dire bottom lane. And Wind Ranger does pick up the Force Staff, which is a great pickup for her. Really helps her get people in position for the Shackle Shot, which we haven't seen her be too terribly effective with the Shackle Shots quite yet. Hopefully we'll see some more of those later.
Dire's top tower's gone.
And this Invoker has really just been helping out the Radiant quite a bit. Ag Scepter pick up for for the Invoker. Gives him some nice stats and reduces the cooldown on Invoke, so he can switch around to different spells quite a bit faster, which is a decent pickup for him. And Sniper might be in a little bit of trouble here. He is able to harass pretty easily, but being that far forward and no escape mechanism, he is in a little bit of danger. And the Crypt Swarm being used on the Tiny and not going to do too much damage, but we do have Silencer teleporting in. Mirana solo farming in the Dire top lane. Not sure if she's going to try and split push this. If they do, or if she does, we do have Dire personnel ready to dive in and give her the business and the what for. So Tiny and Invoker are in the mid lane. Looks like they are going to try and push this tier 1 mid tower for the Dire. And it looks like they'll get it no problem. But Silencer does use the Curse of the Silent, and using the Glaze of Wisdom quite effectively to harass Tony out of lane. Exorcism will be popped from Death Prophet to zone out the Radiant a little bit. But she is getting a little far forward here. This is a little questionable. Will escape no problem. And we do have a last word down on the Axe. I think he'll get away no problem. Icarus Dive going down, chasing them out of there. And the Radiant do wisely back up a little bit. So it looks like we are going to have a full 5-man push from the Dire. But we do have Tiny. He did have to go back to the well, but he will teleport up just in time to join the fray. And I think Tiny's going to be going for the Ag Scepter, which is pretty much a core item for him. But I would think he'd want to farm up a little bit more to try and rush that a little bit more. And Mirana's kind of doing a little bit of a cheeky play here with the invisibility rune. So let's see if we'll see a good stun. No, arrow way off the mark. And the Crypt Swarm from the Death Prophet going down. Icarus Dive being used from the Phoenix. Shackle Shot catching out the Invoker. So good Shackle Shot there, Emilu. Toss being used on the Phoenix almost goes down, but Tiny way far forward. Sniper just causing all sorts of havoc with the right click. So we will see a double kill. The Invoker, and that's 3 down for the Radiant, and that's now 4 down, and Sniper just doing work against this Mirana, staying a little far forward. I think we'll probably see... I don't know if they'll be able to chase this out or not. Okay, we do see an assassinate kill from the Sniper, which he did use that. I believe it was either against the Axe or... I don't know. He did get a assassinate kill earlier. So that is a full 5-man team wipe for the Dire. So that'll be real good for them. Give them a nice influx of gold and experience. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the gold graph. Favoring the Radiant, but the Dire are swinging it back in their favor. Experience chart also favoring the Radiant, but they are bringing it back to their side. So I think it's anyone's ball game at this point. It was really that Shackle Shot, Power Shot combo that took out the Invoker that I think really helped them win that fight. And let's take a quick look at the levels. Yeah, Invoker is leading in levels by a fair margin. Well, the Sniper is level 15, but the next leveled up hero on the Dire is the Silencer at level 13. So the Invoker is in a place where he can really help make or break these team fights. And he does have the Tornado EMP that I spoke of earlier invoked. We do see Mirana picking up the Mithril Hammer, so I'm not sure what she intends to go for. Probably BKB, I would think. Maybe a Desolator, perhaps. And we do see Silencer going for the Staff of Wizardry and the Ogre Club. So I think he might be trying to go for Ags, which is probably a pretty good pickup. BKB would be decent against the Invoker. Shut him down pretty hard. But Invoker's right click does get somewhat decent, so... And bit of an engagement in the mid lane here. Death Prophet caught out 2v3, popping the Exorcism just as the duel is used, and Death Prophet does get the kill on the Legion Commander. So Legion Commander feeding a little bit of damage to the Death Prophet, though it looks like Axe got the kill just before the Legion Commander died. So I think I take that back. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Axe killed Death Prophet just as Death Prophet killed Legion Commander. So I think, if I'm correct, I think Legion Commander still got the extra damage from the duel since Death Prophet died first. And one thing I do like to talk about is this Wind Ranger has been doing a decent job of keeping the wards up, which is good. Nobody really ever talks about good support play, and that's always good. We do have Sniper sitting on the Desolator Shadowblade, which, not a big fan of the Shadowblade. I think I'd rather see him get like a Force Staff or a Blink Dagger or something. Because the Shadowblade, you tend to use that more as an initiation item, and Mirana getting caught out pretty far forward here, probably going to see a kill. And the Death Ray leaves her at 25 HP, and she does have a TP scroll, and I'm not sure why she didn't use that. If you used that TP scroll, Mirana would have gotten out just fine, no problem. But the Shadow Blade does work decently as a way to get away if you need it, but I think as Sniper, I think I'd just rather not be in the position to where you need the Shadow Blade to escape anyway. Like if you're smart about your positioning, it's not a problem. So, but the Desolator is a good pickup, and still not entirely sure what the Death Prophet plans on building here. Probably going to go for a Bloodstone, which is actually a really good pickup for her. It gives her some tankability, helps out with the mana pool, and helps lower the respawn timer quite a bit. So we will see the Exorcism being used, and again, Tiny being caught out with the bad positioning, going for the eager Avalanche there. And this Tiny has just been not very effective. Been using the Avalanche toss combo to really no benefit of him. So Invoker is going to pop the Tornado, does catch out 3 of them, and the EMP doing a decent amount of work. Will take up quite a bit of the Silencer's mana, and we do see the Axe get the kill on the Silencer, and more damage being added to the Legion Commander's pool. She has won... Actually, I'm not sure how many duels she's won, but she does have 62 bonus damage thanks to dual damage.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Axe going for the Heaven's Halberd, which I think is an okay... I think it's an okay pickup. And Sunray not gonna do anything for the Invoker. Almost getting the kill, but not quite. We did see Tiny get the kill on the Sniper. Sniper was a bit far forward. Toss trying to come in there with a creep and finish off these two, but not quite enough damage. So this game has been very, very back and forth. I mean, just look at this. It's like a roller coaster practically. It's been up and down. And it's still, I mean, I know that says plus about 2,000 gold, or 2,000, what did I say, gold. But I think it's mostly even right now. Deafening Blast going to go down. Meatball not going to do too much damage. Wind Ranger taking a fair amount of damage over time thanks to it, but nothing she can't overcome.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
And we do have the creeps pushing into this tier 2 bottom tower for the Radiant, so gonna send Tiny down there to clean it up, and he'll get a decent amount of farm out of this, though he might take a decent amount of creep damage, which he does not. And this Tiny has really We do see a silencer kill on the... Excuse me, a Marana kill on the silencer. But yeah, this Tiny, he has been... About 10 minutes ago, he said he should be getting Ags, and he still hasn't got Ags yet. So you want to see him farm up a little bit more. Exorcism being popped, and the last word being used on the Axe, and I think Axe will get away, no problem. I think the Dire would really benefit from some reliable stuns. If they had a single target stun, this would totally change. That whole engagement would have been absolutely changed. Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward through this crap. So it is nice when you are able to have some stuns, and really helps you out during those engagements. I think that's probably one thing you see pretty often in teams, is you don't have reliable stuns. I think the best thing they have going for them is the Wind Ranger Shackle Shot, which is difficult to land at best, I think. There is the silence from the silencer, which is nice, but you know, that doesn't stop people from moving. Quite a long pause here. Wind Ranger complimenting the Legion Commander on the Arcana. It is pretty sweet looking, so always nice to see some good manners there. And it looks like we are going to be resuming. That was a long pause, so good patience on both sides. You always like to see that. Press the attack being used against the Death Prophet. I think that was press the attack. No, excuse me, overwhelming odds. Axe really far forward here. Shackle Shot not going to connect, but I think he will go down. No, the Tornado EMP Meatball, or excuse me, Tornado Deafening Blast Meatball, going to save his butt. So we do see Invoker getting the kill on the Sniper, just as the Sniper gets the kill on the Axe, and the Legion Commander does use the duel on the Wind Ranger just as she is about to go down. So it is a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Radiant. And Invoker a little far forward, tried to escape during that last engagement, but not gonna get out of there. And Phoenix using the Icarus dive to get away, thankfully, using the Sunray at the last minute there to do some damage. But no, the Tornado is gonna catch out the Phoenix, and I think she does use the Rebirth, but I think we are gonna see a Phoenix kill here, no problem. Yeah, but Phoenix did have that damage over time. As the Legion Commander just stood there and took some damage from that, so Invoker doing a good job keeping this Hand of Midas on cooldown.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
So that was a bit of a nasty exchange for the Dire. They did lose, I believe, 4 heroes there. I think the Death Prophet was the only one who got away. Tiny finally picking up the Ag Scepter, so he now will get that nice cleave and that nice nice tree, which looks nice. So that is 50% cleave damage on the Tiny, which is really nice. So the Ag Scepter is just so good for Tiny. Definitely a good pickup for him. Silencer pretty close to the Ag Scepter as well, which is a good pickup for him. It does add when you use the Global Silence, it does add the Curse of the Silent, I believe. It's either Curse of the Silent or Last Word. I believe it's Curse of the Silent to all enemies. Toss being used on the Silencer, and Berserker's Call will be used on the Silencer, and it looks like he will go down here. Trying to use the Culling Blade, but it won't get a kill. And the Sniper getting the kill on the Axe at just the last moment, while the Tiny does have one final right click that takes down the Silencer. And we do have 3 Dire heroes chasing him out, as we do have the Marana sliding by, and she is under the effects of her invisibility, but will be able to leap away no problem as the The Dire do sniff her out.
Something bad's happened.
And we do see the Courier go down, and Sniper getting a kill on the Mirana. The Deafening Blast being used to take down the Sniper, no problem. And the Sunray and the Phoenix ultimate going to go down, but I think Phoenix will get a kill on the Invoker here thanks to that damage. And Icarus Dive being used, and yep, there we go. Was a little close there.
What's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
So I do like to see this Phoenix getting a decent amount of kills and helping out with quite a few kills. I don't really typically see a Phoenix that knows what they're doing, so good for Phoenix. Like to see that. Death Prophet still hasn't picked up her Bloodstone. I'm not sure what goes into that. I know we have like 3 components that go into that thing. So we do have a Perseverance and a Soul Booster, so she's getting there. Just needs to pick up that Energy Booster. I think that's all she needs to get. Wind Ranger going for the Maelstrom, which at 40 minutes in the game, it'll help her farm up a little bit, which I think is nice, and provide a little bit of AoE damage, but not entirely sure how I feel about that pickup. Wind Ranger does have a pretty slow attack speed, so not entirely sure if I like that pickup or not. It's an okay pickup. So Death Prophet and Phoenix do both finish their Bloodstones at the same time, so that'll help out quite a bit with those respawn timers when they die. Invoker does pick up the... Oh, and nice Shackle Shot connects on the Axe, and that'll help Sniper get a kill on the Axe. Phoenix blinking forward, trying to sniff out this Axe as he... Or, excuse me, Legion Commander as he does run away. And the Dire team kind of wrapping around here, catching out Tiny one-on-one. Mirana arrow gonna be way off the mark, and I don't think I've seen Mirana land a single arrow yet. Invoker using the Tornado Meatball combo and will only catch one, but the Deafening Blast does catch all 3 of them. Mechanism going down to help out the HP issues here, and it looks like the Tiny's going to go down well. A nice Shackle Shot connects, and Tiny does crumble away. And yet again, Tiny was fighting 3, actually 4 on 1. So not good for him. Phoenix chasing out the rest of these Radiant heroes. Not sure if that's necessarily a good idea. Does blink away at the last second. While Legion Commander says, hey man, I got Blink Dagger too. Watch this. Overwhelming odds and a duel being used. So I think we're going to see Legion Commander take down the Phoenix here. While no, Sniper comes in saving Phoenix's butt. Do Phoenixes have butts? We'll just say that they do. So nice teamwork there. Nice to see that. And a bit of an awkward engagement here from the Wind Ranger and the Axe. Axe trying to use the Berserker's Call to no avail, while Death Prophet does just run by the Axe casually, no problem.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
And Silencer does finally pick up that Ag Scepter, while Mirana also picks up that Desolator with that Mithril Hammer that's been sitting in her inventory for the last 20 minutes or something like that. Okay, yeah, so when you use the Curse or the Global Silence, it does apply Curse of the Silent, and it does increase the duration of the Global Silence to 7, so that's a very nice pickup for Silencer, and also provides a decent amount of stats along with that as well. Phoenix does rotate back to the bottom lane of their base here to clean up the creeps and to potentially push away this Mirana, who is not going to choose to push into the base. And it looks like she's going to be able to pick up a double damager in here. No, just walks right by it. Pick it up. Pick it up, man. You do a decent amount of damage. Why don't you right-click on that thing? Alright, let's see what's going on elsewhere. Instead of a Mirana just standing by doing nothing. Silencer was upgraded a little bit to help out his... I don't know if it was his agility level gain or his base agility or something, but he did get a decent buff to agility to help out with the attack speed and his armor in the last patch. I believe it was 6.8. I don't know if it was 6.80 or 6.81. Tiny, yet again, far forward here against a 5v1 situation. Phoenix using that Icarus dive, the Blink Icarus dive, really. Sniper doing quite a bit of work with his right click, and the Tornado EMP will catch out two of them, and this Invoker has just been going to town using the meatball, and really just showing that that Ag Scepter can do quite a bit of damage. And the Death Prophet will have the Exorcism expire. So, not, it's okay to pop that. It's on a relatively low cooldown, but not really able to do too much with that. Sunstrike going to be off the mark. And yeah, let's take a look at the graphs here. So this one is starting to swing back in favor of the Dire, though the Radiant do have a decent XP advantage. They do have that level 20 Invoker, good 2 levels ahead of Phoenix and Sniper. Phoenix does pick up the Hyperstone and the Yasha. The Yasha definitely helping out with the movement speed a little bit, and that Hyperstone will definitely, just make those right clicks really, really miserable to deal against. And Windranger I think she's going to be going for a Yule's Scepter of Divinity, which, I say it all the time, one of my favorite items. Really give a little bit of a pseudo-stun, but I think I would like to see her at the 45-minute mark here use that Maelstrom and farm up a Sheep Stick and some awkward positioning here. And it looks like we're going to see potentially another Tiny kill, and a Shackle Shot not connecting. Though Tiny does have a good amount of HP now, so he is tanking up quite a bit and is able to start an engagement and survive it no problem. Though Sniper doing quite a bit of right-click damage, the Power Shot going to be just off the mark. And the Dire are going to try and chase this one out with Death Prophet having her Exorcism popped. And Tiny using the throw, and it will do quite a bit of Sniper damage. Looks like we are going to see Sniper and Tiny both go down. And we do see the Legion Commander go down as well, and it is just a massacre on the side of the Radiant. Tons of damage from the Windranger and the Death Prophet and the Silencer. So that's the second full man team wipe in favor of the Dire, so that one will really help them out quite a bit. And yes, the gold and XP graphs are definitely swinging heavily in favor of the Dire. And we did see Windranger pick up that Yule's Scepter of Divinity, so that will be nice. Kind of add it's not necessarily a stun per se. It is, well, I guess it is technically a stun, but you also can't damage them during that as well. So I actually do like that pickup. I think it is a good item to grab. It is about roughly half the cost of a Sheep Stick, and it provides mostly the same effect. You just can't damage them during the stun. So I do like that, and it does help with positioning as well. Or helps land hard spells to land. Like, so for example, I could use it with, I know Jakiro's not on this team, but I like to pick it up on Jakiro a lot. Use the Yule's Scepter, and then as they're coming down out of that, use the Ice Path. I guess I can zoom back in. And I think we have 2 mechs on the side of, I swear I saw Windranger grabbing the mech. No? Okay. I thought I saw that for sure. Silencer does have a mech. Phoenix potentially looking to build into an Assault Cuirass. And Silencer is going to be going for a... the thing that Invoker has. The Orchid. Jeez. So that Orchid will be really nice against the Silencer. Silences, and then also... does it do Mana Drain? Mana Burn? No, it's just called Soul Burn. Amplifies the damage they take, and it silences them for 5 seconds. Real nice pickup. I can understand why Invoker grabbed it as well. Will be nice against the Silencer and the Phoenix and the Death Prophet and the Windranger, really. So pretty nice against them all. Doesn't really do too much against Sniper though. Though it does amplify the damage that they take, which is nice. Tony going in for a solo Roshan kill. Invoker says, "Hey buddy, let me help you out." Does have those really, really nice Forge Spirits. Does have the Tornado and the Chaos Meteor, as my voice cracks, invoked up. Phoenix going in with the Icarus Dive, and they will spot this out, but I don't think there's going to be able to much. I don't think there will be much they'll be able to do about this. And Tiny does pick up the Aegis, and it is already popped thanks to the exorcism from the Death Prophet. And Tiny's just going to stand in this as he goes one-on-one against Silencer. And I think we're going to see another. No, not going to be able to pop the Assassinate.
How about that?
So Death Prophet using that exorcism to full effect, killing the Invoker, and I think we might see the Invoker go down. Maybe. He's down to 70 HP, or he was.
How about that? Bottom tower.
And Sniper somehow able to chase out the Tiny. I guess Tiny didn't go back to base. He was really low. He probably should have. So I'm not entirely sure what Sniper's going to pick up next. I would assume probably a Daedalus, which it was contested in our last podcast that Daedalus is a unique attack modifier, and I am here to let you know that it is, in fact, not a unique attack modifier. So you can stack that with Desolator, no problem. And it is just a really nice item. Legion Commander sitting on the Blade Mail and the Chrysalis. Has the Blades of Attack and Gloves of Haste sitting in her inventory. Not sure what she's going to pick up. And Windranger does pick up the Mjolnir, which I am a big fan of the Mjolnir. So that shield really does help out quite a bit. You can either use it on yourself or use it on others. So that is a nice pickup for the Windranger. Yeah, it's just real nice. So the Maelstrom really helps you farm up a little bit. And I think that's something you need to keep in mind, is you mostly buy the Maelstrom to help you farm up. And Windranger catching out the Mirana one-on-one here. Phoenix is going to use the Icarus Dive, but not going to be able to do too much with it, as they do pop the Mirana ultimate to escape. And Windranger will just go back to farming, no problem. But yeah, as I was saying, well, and dude, look at this. The Windranger is doing pretty good on farm, but the Maelstrom, you want to think of that more as a farming tool and then as AoE damage second. So it is nice if you can pick that up earlier rather than later in the game. But with the Maelstrom, the proc chance of that does go up quite a bit, so it does help in the late game to do a decent amount of AoE damage as long as you can avoid getting killed in the process. So we do see the Mjolnir shield being used on the Sniper. And that's real nice because it's almost like a pseudo blade mail, I guess. Whenever you get hit, it does have a chance to release some lightning that will jump to nearby enemies.
One last top tower for the
And this Sniper and Windranger are able to push down these buildings, no problem. And they are split pushing while we do have a fight break out in the river. Silencer getting the kill on the Mirana, and the Dire do just kind of split up and get the heck out of here. Tiny chasing out the Death Prophet, so we do have a bit of crazy positioning across the board here. Invoker will try and assist the Tiny here, but Death Prophet does get the kill on the Tiny, and all of a sudden Invoker is just in a really tough spot here. Silencer getting the kill on the Invoker. No problem there. We do have an Invoker buyback, so Legion Commander, Mirana, and Tiny are both down. And this building siege squad of Sniper and Windranger are able to do quite a bit of work, and all of a sudden the Radiant are in a little bit of a dicey position now. It is tough having having one lane of barracks down like that, because unless you have somebody here cleaning up these mega creeps, this lane's always going to be pushing. So that becomes a little rough. You always have to have somebody in your base watching for creep duty. And I am excited to see one of the Compendium stretch goals was, I think it was different skins for mega creeps. So that's exciting. Mirana does have a decent amount of creep clear thanks to the Starstorm, which I have called that thing a variety of names. I've called it Starstorm, Starfall, etc. And we will see the axe go down thanks to the damage from Death Prophet and the Wind Ranger. That Wind Ranger right click is really becoming quite fearsome thanks to the decent amount of intelligence items she's got. And Sniper does pick up the Assault Cuirass, which is, I think, a decent pickup for Sniper, maybe. I mean, Assault Cuirass is good on practically everyone. And it's just really good for your team and debuffs the enemy's armor as well. How much extra damage does the Mjolnir give? Plus 24. Gives a lot of attack speed, which is nice. And we do see Wind Ranger on the, or excuse me, Emilu on the Wind Ranger taking down the Ancients. Tiny using that Avalanche to try and catch up with Farm a little bit, but he is quite low on the net worth chart. Death Prophet gonna pop the Exorcism, and Tiny yet again getting real cocky in a 3-on-1 exchange here. Invoker will blink in and use the Tornado EMP Chaos Meteor combo, but not going to really do too much as Death Prophet does take down the Invoker with that Exorcism, and we also saw a Silencer kill on the Tiny. And Berserker's Call going to be used here, but good lord, this is just not a good situation for Axe to be using that in a 4-on-1 engagement like that. And his Axe didn't go for Blade Mail, because the Berserker's Call Blade Mail combo is just so good.
Radiant's mid-rags is out of the picture. There goes the
And that is another lane of racks in favor of the Dire.
Radiant's mid-tower could use
And we do see them going for the tier 4 towers, and it's just a matter of time here until
That's 4 in a row.
until the end of the game. Phoenix does get a kill on the Mirana, so not sure what Mirana was doing down there, but... And Legion Commander does blink in and feed herself yet again, and we do see Axe suffering the same fate as he did earlier. And the glyph is popped, but it just doesn't matter at this point.
Radiant's mid-tower's getting 1-4. Radiant's mid-tower's getting...
And there we go, folks. The Ancient will be exposed and it will go down, and that will be a win
Radiant's mid-tower
for the Dire. Tiny does come in here and trying to do a little bit of work, but he will go down yet again. Invoker blames Tony. What the hell? The French potato. I'm not sure what that means, but I do think Tony did have something to do with the Dire win here. Tony did give up quite a few kills. He did die 11 times. Axe died 12, though. There were a decent number of deaths clear across the board, but I do think I feel like I saw Tiny out of position way more than anyone else. So, it's nice to see a Dire victory there for our dear We Like Dota viewers, and yeah, that was a good match. Thanks to Kylar for submitting that match, and if you have any matches that you yourself would like to submit, you can find a link to do that in the sidebar of the We Like Dota subreddit, which is at reddit.com/r/WeLikeDota. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.